Hey Thunderbirds. Our lesson for today is based on the artwork of one of my very favorite illustrators, Shel Silverstein. You probably know his book, Where the Sidewalk Ends. He also has many others like The Giving Tree and A Light in the Attic. But Where the Sidewalk Ends has always been my favorite. So we're going to look at a few pages in this book and really look at how he did his artwork. Then you're going to try to create something in his artwork style. So check these pages out.
There's two things I want to focus on with his artwork. One is the line, and the other is the stippling. So you guys already understand what line is, but he uses a certain kind of line called contour lines, where really you're just showing the outline of things. He does some detail, but not very much. For the most part, it's largely the just outline of everything, the outline of every tooth, his mouth. But the stippling is the little dots he does. That is how he added shadow and shade to his artwork. I mean, areas that are just black, he just kind of colors in. But everything else, to give it a little bit of sense of dimension and light and shadow, he adds these little bitty dots, and that is called stippling. Let's look at another example. Here is the peanut butter sandwich poem, and I like this one because you can see how he uses the stippling for the shadow on the sandwich, on the side of the king's nose and around his eyes, and especially underneath the hat. It gives the hat a nice rounded quality very easily. The more dots you have, the darker the shadow. Hippopotamus sandwich, and the stippling just adds so much because, I mean, it's already a pretty fun illustration, but with just the little bits of stippling underneath and on top, it helps round out the body of the hippopotamus. One more. This is Melinda May, who ate a whale. Same thing with the whale as with the hippopotamus. By adding the stippling to the top and the bottom, it makes this middle part really look like it's coming out at you. The stippling just helps round out the figure. Pretty nice.
Now here's my challenge for you. I want you to try to draw an illustration in Shel Silverstein style. And I want you to illustrate a scene or a character from one of your favorite books. It doesn't have to look just like that character. This is your version of that fictional character, so don't feel like it has to look just like them. I want you to just use contour lines and stippling, just a little bit of stippling for the shadows. I'm going to show you an example of a character from one of my favorite books, and the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to use a pencil just to kind of round out where his head is, where the shoulders are, and that kind of thing. But all the details I'm going to do just with an ink pen, and then I'm going to add the stippling with an ink pen as well. Any kind of ink pen works fine. So how many of you knew which book my image is from? You're probably more familiar with the movie because the book is very thick and it's a very high level book, but it's from Lord of the Rings. This is Frodo and Sam, and they're looking at the Mount Doom, the volcano they have to get to. Anyway, so you pick whatever book you really care about, and just try drawing a simple line and stippling drawing. And I ended up doing more pencil work on this than I expected, so I think that's actually a good idea. So kind of sketch out where everything needs to go before you start with your ink pen, because it'd be a shame to get halfway through and you make a mistake and you're like, there goes the whole thing. Anyway, I just want this to be fun. So have a good time trying to recreate the art style of Shel Silverstein. I look forward to seeing what you come up with.